Hey, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach with the Small Biz Society. How y'all doing this evening? Today, I'm going to get right into it. I'm hoping I won't have any technology difficulties, but I am traveling this week. And so sometimes when you're in hotel rooms, the internet may choose not to be your friend. And so, in fact, I do have my backup cell phone here. So just in case I need to, I'll bring it back. But we're going to go right into our subject matter. I want to make sure that I can see you guys. I'm going to be jumping back and forth with my notes. So forgive me for that. So the riches is in the niches. And I did not coin that phrase, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but it is certainly true. So let me provide you with a bit of, get your mind in the right place. When you think of going to, let's say, a used car place, when you go to a used car lot, what are you going to see when you get there? A lot of used cars. And in many instances, there are used cars from all different manufacturers, right? You're going to see Dodge, you're going to see Volvo, you're going to see Mercedes, you're going to see Ford, you'll see Chevy, right? And so buying from a used car lot may have its benefits in the fact that you have a lot to choose from, but if anything were to happen to that car after you've bought it, and you bring it back, is there going to be an expert there who knows intimately about that particular vehicle, style, make, and model? Probably not, because they are what I would call generalists, right? So a used car lot is like a generalist. They sell cars, but they sell all types of cars. So they're not really an expert in that any one type of car. Whereas down the street, you have dealerships. You have the BMW dealership. You have the Mercedes dealership. You have the Ford dealership. Because guess what? They're going to do just their thing regarding their brand, their niche. Now, they were in a broad niche or a broad industry of cars, but their niche market is foreign and domestic, sports cars or compact cars. Like if you go to the Mini Coupe dealership, that's all they have. And they focus in and they get really good on it, and they're going to give you the best thing that they can do and provide. And essentially, that is what a niche is for you as part of your business. So for those of you who are still in the idea phase and have not gone down the road of actually launching your business, this is a good thing for you to be really thinking about right now. And that is, yes, you may know a lot of things, you may be very talented. That doesn't mean that your business has to be that way. You want to be able to be seen as an expert. And in order to do that, you need to be very laser focused on the type of services and or products that you're putting out there. Why is this important? It's important because people like to deal with experts. They like to know that the person that they're interacting with, that they're entrusting either time or money, that they're going to get value from it and that they feel safe and confident in making those decisions. When you are a generalist, then they won't see the best of you. Right? And another example, unless you are going into the business of being a handyman versus being an electrician, right? So that's another great analogy, another comparison. A handyman can do lots of small little things, but they're really good at doing the small projects. And that's a niche in and of itself in a unique type of a way. But for instance, my handyman doesn't do electric because one, you need to be licensed and insured, and you need something that you really need to go to school for because of the nature of the work, right? Now, can he change a plug? Sure. Can he change a light bulb? Sure. Can he put in a new breaker box? No. He would not be able to do that because that is not a niche for him. I will go to the expert that is the electrician. Okay. Now, as an example for myself, when I left my full-time job and I was responsible for a lot of different areas in my work, but primarily my work was around leadership and curriculum and instruction, right? And then I went and I was also providing coaching and support and evaluating as well because that was just a part of my work. But when I went into business for myself, I was broad in my niche at first, and this may be what some of you may need to do in the fact that I was providing coaching services, but it was still niched in the sense that I wasn't doing coaching for any and everybody. My coaching was very specific in that I was really working within my expertise of the K-12 learning space. And so people were seeking me out, or I was able to connect with other companies that were providing that type of service to that similar clientele. And I was considered an expert or someone that they could look to that says that I've worked in the industry, I can speak the language, I can connect with the individuals. And that's the whole nature around having a niche. So that's why within the term, the riches are in the niches. Yeah, you can make some money as being a generalist, but here's the thing. When you're running around and saying yes to everything, you're not getting good at your craft. You're not getting good at your product, and you're not building a clientele who can speak to the fact that you're good at that one thing, right? And you're not going to get the referrals, because if you don't get the referrals from people, because they're not going to be able to say, oh, I know somebody, they're really good at X. If that person said, oh, they're really good at so many things, a lot of people tend to be quite hesitant about that because, again, in the back of their heads, they're looking for somebody who's really good at that one thing, who doesn't take a lot of time. And that's the other drawback that comes when you are not focused on a clear aspect of your business. Is it requires way more time. If you don't know it all at a deep level, then you have to research. It's going to take you longer to do it as well, right? And so that may not necessarily benefit you long term as far as the money goes, because if you don't do it every day, then the pace and the work in which you're doing it in typically will work against you. So keep that also in mind. Also keep in mind is the basis for a niche is that you really want to tap into your knowledge base, the things that you do well now, and it's how is it that you can shift and make that knowledge that you have and really leverage your skills so that you're meeting a need that is within the context of your customers. The other thing is when you claim and understand your niche, it is going to help you to identify and connect with your target audience. And I did talk about this a bit before, and how, maybe I haven't really touched on so much as what a target audience is and how you get to that, and that will be another subject matter. But recognizing what your niche is and honing in on it will help you. And it's also going to help you in your branding and also how you market yourself. Again, if you're doing lots of things and you're saying you do these things, how are you communicating that well? If you do lots of things, it's hard to communicate and be very concise and telling people, what do you do? And you want to be able to have that down to a science as well. So that's why it's really beneficial for you to really focus in on having your niche. Let me just check on my notes to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Also, you do want to make sure that you're doing something that you enjoy. That comes across well in your work, people notice it. If you're doing it because you have to, your behavior tends to change, and people will see and recognize that. So do know that. Pick something that you really love to do, and that in and of itself, that your passion will help you to also grow your business and getting really good at that craft as well. And let me tell you something. The other piece about that in and of itself is when you're passionate about something, it shows in the work, and people see that as also being that you're confident in yourself. And it also allows for you to share people to also to be able to do referrals for you as well. So keep that in mind. Do something that you love, and that is going to take you far further than just doing it because you have to. I know sometimes some of us are still working full time, and that's great. And you do sometimes some of us are working full time, and we're not doing full time jobs that are aligned with our passions, and hence why you're here. And that's certainly understandable. But this is the reason why. So focus on your niche and your passion, and that's going to take you a long way. The other piece is I have okay, so that is what a niche is. So hopefully we're clear on that. Now, many niches or one versus one niche is another example. So here's why being focused on a topic is will serve you well, is that you want to keep it simple. Just from the start, that just having your one niche under your name, and that you want to be considered that one person that you, so if you're the self-improvement expert, then that is exactly what your niche is. Don't worry about your products per se down the line. Those are going to come. But if you know your industry and your area of focus is going to be that, it's going to help you to create those other pieces in your products and your services as well, because you don't want to service every and everybody that you think that you can. It's just not possible. And again, you're not going to be good at it. I know we have some people in the group. We have someone who's in the beauty industry. Again, focusing in on what area of beauty are you looking to get really good at. Take your craft, take that talent, take your passion. I just spoke to a young lady not too long ago, and she's a stylist in a salon. And what she enjoys the most, and there's lots of aspects to the beauty industry, right? But what she likes and enjoys the most and feels as though she has a talent for is hair coloring. And that's because of the technique. So color and cut are her things. And people doing lashes, and they're doing makeup, whatever your thing is. And so she wants to be known for that, then that's what you're going to be doing a lot of your work around. She certainly will cut your hair, or she will blow dry it or do all those other things, but she wants to be known for that aspects. And that's where your branding pieces are going to really come into play, in the imagery that you use and the language that you choose to use when you're communicating with other people about the type of business that you're operating. Let me just see. And the other thing about not having more than one niche is that you'll lose focus. Let's be honest. I can confess here that my attention I do suffer from adult deficit attention disorder. I can be easily distracted, so I have to set up my environment in such a way that I can have a level of focus. I use a timer. I have my earbuds on. I know where my shortfalls are. And so, yes, I could go out and I could change a tire if I needed to. Could I make a living from it? No. But I'll do it if that's the only means that I have to make some income. But fortunately, I've been able to hone in on my craft and be able to do other things. So the other reason for having not having many niches and just having the one is it really does allow you to focus. And what that also means is that it's going to give you the ability to gain clients or produce products at a quicker rate, because you have it down to a science, and that's going to be important. Also, even from just a branding, and you look at the people who you admire who are doing the similar work that you're looking to do, look at their websites, look at their products, materials. What are the things that you are grasped and are liking? And those are the things that other people who are in a similar need are doing the same thing. And you want to emulate that. There's nothing wrong with emulating other people that are doing similar work that you do. You want to get ideas from them. You don't want to copy from them necessarily, but you do want to at least connect with them. Okay, I'm just looking at my log, making sure. All righty. So stick to one, and rather than here's a good rule of thumb. When you find yourself trying, as you're looking to establish yourself as that expert in your particular field, but that you find yourself wanting to do these other areas, this is where it becomes critical for you to partner up with someone else who is the expert. And I will tell you that when you do that, when you leverage and you partner with people and you start to create your circle of influence and your circle of partners, it makes you even more powerful, and you can expand your business, but you don't have to be the one doing the business. And that's the benefit of having business partners. Not necessarily business partners in the sense that I have to go into business with that person and form a partnership, but that you have alliances, that you're able to say, in fact, I'll give you a really good example because it just happened this week. I'm working with a new client, and my focus is on program and project design, and I'm providing a level of coaching and support services alongside that work. And that client also needed a website to launch it was a not-for-profit organization, and they needed a website and asked me to do it. And I'm like, no, I don't do it, but I can get you that service for you, and I can either embed it into my contract work and just know that I personally am not doing the website, or I have people that I know who could facilitate that service for you. Let me give you their referral, and I don't only refer people that I know that do good work, but that's that partnership. Or I could have easily created the proposal, bringing in all of my expert alliances and saying, as an entity for my company, which in this case was my Synergy Solutions company, that I'm providing all of these services under this one contract, and then I outsourced that work to my alliance members, and that empowered me. So now when my client can say, this particular individual is doing all of this work for me, and then I'm able to share the wealth with other individuals. And that's the power of being an expert and having a niche focus for your work. So how do you go about deciding about a niche? So let's focus on that, and then I'm gonna let you go. So you got the understanding of what a niche is. So again, it's that basic, a sub-market of the larger market, right? So there's coaching, and then I do business coaching. There's training, and then people say I just do technology training. So keep it in mind within that. And so how you want to kind of understand some of when it comes for your marketing. And so take a look at some books and some magazines in your local bookstores, or and start looking, or in your niche magazines themselves. So for some of you who are in the industries, start looking at the ads and researching those out. Look at the advertisements and seeing what they're putting out there to create to touch their particular niche customers, so that you can kind of think about how you want to start to whittle down your area of focus. Okay, that's one idea. Let me see what else I have here. I think that some of this is just for niche marketing, and I'm not going to get into. Yeah, it's not on niche marketing right there. Okay, and then let me just double check one other thing. The reason so now that you have your niche and you know why you want to have your niche and you've created your focus, if you don't understand or don't have not decided on your area of focus just yet, write down the things that you really like to do. I want you to just make your list. What are the things that you know that you really like? And also write down the things that you know that you don't like, that you don't enjoy doing. Write those down, because every now and again you may need to be reminded of it, because somebody will come to you and say, hey, can you do this for me? And while you can do it, if you don't enjoy doing it and it's not going to really benefit you, although the money will be there, sometimes the power of no um, strengthens you. And what it also does is it opens other doors. So just know that I personally have experienced in recent days, in fact, that staying focused, staying committed, giving people, staying connected with your customers, listening out for what people are looking for and needing, is what's going to help you to um, design and build out your business idea, getting in that focus of your niche. And then what it also allows you to do is to really start working on your branding and your marketing, which are two different things, by the way. But once you understand what you want to do and how you want to get there, within the context of your niche area, it's going to just make everything so much easier. You will not be all over the place, and that's the benefit of recognizing and knowing your niche. So I don't have any questions. Just let me double check my notes real quick. I want to make sure that what is your niche? Niche marketing. And okay. Yeah, okay. I think that's it with my notes. Okay. So with that said, get yourself focused if you haven't already done so. If you've started a business already, it's never too late to refine your focus in your business. You may be able to sit down and really reflect on what you're doing now, what's working, what's not working. You may be able to say, you know what, I think I have too much on my plate, that while I know I'm out there saying I do all these things, you might want to pull back and really focus on maybe just one thing and get really good at that and promoting that aspect of it. Not to say you wouldn't be able to do the other things, but again, it's how you are communicating and sharing what you do, and if you can, and also the results of that as well. And you'll be able to have people who can speak from experience of being able to work with you. So that's the other benefit of being able to have something that is really focused. And it's also going to help you to work on your target audience, which we're going to talk about next week, is how to make sure I have my notes. Yeah, next week's video is going to be on your target audience. What are they, and how can you start to think about going through that? And stay tuned on the website this week. I've got some new events that are going to be coming out, and hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of it. And as always, I wish you business success. And as I always tell everybody, let's get busy. You guys have a good day. And for those of you who are listening to the video, give me a thumbs up, give me some feedback on the videos in the comments. Have a great one. Bye.